I've gone out doing this stuff kind of fat. I've done it in shape. I'm in like pretty good shape right now. I'm still not going to be more attractive than some like young, hot girl. Like I'm not going to win on looks. When you meet Owen here in a little bit, you see him, he's certainly not going to win on looks. Have you seen him? He'll tell you this. He will tell you. I remember he said this the other day. We were in New York or something, and I was on some program, and we're staying in an Airbnb. He comes out of the, like I'm like giving the seminar. Owen comes out with no shirt on, like in a towel, and he's like this huge belly, hairy as fuck, no hair on the head, all in the body, on the beard, these huge flappy, like sweaty man boobs, this crazy psycho beard. Hey guys, what's going on? Like this weird voice. Also short. He's like, what's going on? Are you guys talking about the... And he's basically like, yeah, Jeff's in really good shape now, but there's no fucking way he's going to be better than some LA 10. Neither am I. Mid-40s. Owen, you know, I'll brag for him because it's not bragging if someone else says it. You know, he hooks up with like very, very attractive like girls. How? It's not the attraction thing. What's he doing? This is what he said. It's very interesting. The way that we talk, the way that I talk, and the way that I act hypnotizes people. How? Basically, it's like this. It's not like, oh, you're a 10, I'm a 5. It's 10. 10. How is that happening? It's through little things like word choice and the manner of speaking. Again, when how does a guy who doesn't have that capability talk? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? Hey, I wanted to like low tonality, not a lot of variance in the language musicality. Like, hey, so hey, how are you doing tonight? Most people speak in these kind of ruts. They go da 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 da, 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 da 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 da. Da 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 da. Inexpressive face. Hey, da da da. Low energy, inexpressive face, closed body language. Gestures aren't expressive. Like they're not expressive. That's number one. Their energy is very stifled. They can't get people to fucking pay attention to them, much less flip the script on them. You know, again, when I talk to people, they're like, I've never heard someone speak like this. Because I'm jumping back and forth between that fucking vulgar pimp and the urbane articulate conversationalist and also the game show host. Like they're like, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? I have never met a person like this in the last year. It's very unusual. Again, the verbiage that I employ. If somebody asks me, how are you doing? He'll say, instead of like, oh, good, he'll be like, spectacular, phenomenal. Just that. Just different. It's fucking different. Are you fucking different? Look, everybody's bored. You've got to give them something different to talk about or deal with. And then you make it easy for them to go along with you and not feel weird about it. Those are the two elements. Everybody's bored. Give them something different to talk about. I had a student who was very logical. I had him open with, hi, my name's Satan. I'm a professional mermaid. Like, what? That was the best approach that he had that night. Why? Because it makes no sense. He's like, I can't say that. It makes no sense. Yes. Because they're like, what? It's like a pattern interrupt. Because remember, the second that they can figure out what the hell you're talking about, they'll just tune out. They're like, oh, this. It's got to be different, interesting, shocking, hilarious, poignant, something different. Okay? Also, it's like a barrage. It's like this avalanche of bullshit. It just never stops. It never fucking stops. They can remove themselves from the situation. Now, by the way, that doesn't mean that like I'm this overbearing person where I'm just like, I mean, sort of. But also, I'm like, as much as I'm throwing out those like forwards phrases, I'm throwing out an equal amount of statements of empathy. I think that's overlooked. I'm constantly throwing out statements of empathy. Like these little like, yeah, I know. Like, okay, this guy gets it. He's saying these things like he understands that it's weird. If you don't understand that, if it just looks like you think you're awesome and you're just saying this shit, terrible. But I'm constantly throwing out statements of empathy. Okay, please leave immediately, creepy fucking weirdo. Yeah, sorry about that. Anyway, so like I was saying, back into normal talk. And so it's just captivating. There's like, what the fuck? It's the hypnosis. Like, what's he going to say next? What the fuck's he going to say next? And again, the fact that I'm introducing it incrementally, it allows time to acclimate to it incrementally. It's not just like going in like the fist of an angry god. What's up? What's that smell like? Okay, that would be pretty funny though. But anyway, yeah. So again, very self-amused, owning the intention. Like again, the cartoon pimp guy's owning the intention, but then this guy's making it okay, and then this guy's the master of ceremonies that's controlling the fucking proceedings, right? And then moving it forward. Like I said though, I'm not doing anything that you could not be doing right now. Like there's no, what is the distinction? What is the difference between me and you?
Experience.
I just do it more. Yeah, I just drilled it more, and I'm very comfortable in the pocket. You know what that means, comfortable in the pocket? It's like a football term, you know, like they go hike, and then the ball comes, and the guy's got the ball. All the defenders are there, but everyone's trying to get him. The quarterback needs to be calm and be like, okay, what's going on? Is that guy there, or should I run it? Like, you're not like, oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. Most of you right now, when you go out, you're overwhelmed. You're all in here. It's all inside here. You're like, what's going on? Do they think I'm cool? Is it working? Like, what's happening? What's the story about me? What's the big story about what they think about me? What does it mean if they don't like me? You're so inside your own head, there's no space for the other person's experience. Students are so inside their own head, they can't even look at the other person and see what they're feeling. The thing is, I'm only thinking about 3 things when I'm actually talking to somebody. I'm not thinking about like very much. I'm just allowing intuitive impulses to burst forth. And it's kind of funny because I don't even feel as though I'm the originator of these ideas. They come out and I'm like surprised. I'm like, oh, that was hilarious. Like, where'd that come from? Creative people often talk about this. They feel as though they are like a conduit for these energies. Like musicians, poets, you know, other creative people, they feel like they are a channel for the energies. They're not the ones doing it. Like the music is happening through you, right? And when you open more to intuitive energies, you'll just find yourself saying hilarious things. You're like, dude, that was awesome. And then maybe note to self, say that again. Maybe you say it again in a future, you know, situation, or maybe, you know, you kind of refine it a little more, but you'll find yourself just coming up with hilarious things to say. So that's why I'm not really thinking about what to say. I'm only thinking about 3 things. Number 1, where am I in the steps, and what is the next step, depending on what I'm trying to do, right? Like, so again, oh, I'm on step 2, I need to get to step 3. These are the actions I need to take. These are the behaviors I need to exhibit. Do that. Number 2, what is the evolving logistical situation? Because for people who can go up and make connections very easily, logistics becomes the great equalizer. It becomes all about logistics. What are your logistics? What are their logistics? Again, whether this is a client you're trying to close a deal on, whether it's somebody you're trying to hook up with, it's like, what are the logistics? Where do they live? Where are they staying? Who are they here with? Where are you staying? What's going on? Are there logistical obstacles in place? Can I circumnavigate these obstacles? Can I get creative about it? What do I do? And then number 3, perhaps most importantly, what are they giving me emotionally right now? And how can I modulate my tonality or my emotions to sort of strike a chord with what they're giving me? Because I'm constantly shifting. That's constantly in flux. It's like balance. You know, it's like trying to balance like on a surfboard or something. It's not logical. You can develop the skill of balance, but it's purely, in this case, emotional. You feel what they're giving you, because again, the more that you train your emotional system, and when I say train your emotional system, what do I mean? Remember, emotions are not something that we will to happen. Emotions are things that happen to us. Fear, disgust, anger, joy. Yes, you can set up situations where the stimuli are present that typically result in you having a good emotion. Like, yeah, if I go and get ice cream with my friends, I feel good. Like, you can set that up, but generally an emotion happens to you. And once you are in the grip of that emotion, it will have the unique ability to push out information that would contradict it. In other words, you will not be able to process information that contradicts that emotional state. You ever been like in an argument with like your significant other, you know, and you're just like, you realize it's stupid. You know, maybe you had a couple, you both had a little bit to drink, and you're like, what the fucking da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you realize you're just saying the same things over and over, and you realize how stupid it is, but you just keep going, don't you? It's like Eckhart Tolle called this a pain body attack. You just keep fucking going. Fuck you. You're like, dude, this is so dumb. Just stop. Do you have the ability to realize that? So that's, again, training your emotional system is number one. Training yourself to recognize when you are becoming emotional. Like, okay, I'm having a fucking pain body attack. We need to step off this script. This is not productive. Let's stop, right? And then number two, controlling how long that refractory period lasts where you're in the grip of it. Okay, so you don't say or do things that cause harm to yourself or others that you regret later. So again, training that emotional state. But here's the interesting thing. The more that you think about it like this. Your projective modes, the face, the voice, the body, the emotions, everything you're using to project, that forms a communication system, a projective communication system. The corresponding perceptual modes, sight, sound, touch, also emotions, there's a perceptual system. But the interplay between those two forms a larger overarching system of communication. So as you train your projective capabilities, you're training your ability to perceive better too. So as you train your emotional state, your emotional system, you're also training your ability to recognize emotions in other people. And then also know how to adjust to kind of, again, strike that chord and ride the wave all the way into shore. And it's a very, very subtle thing. It's one of those things you can't really talk about. You have to experience it, you know, because it's purely emotional. So that's all I'm really thinking about when I'm in an interaction. It's like, what's the next step to move things forward towards, you know, what the outcome I want, the win-win outcome I want. Number two, what is the logistical situation? And then number three, what are they giving me emotionally?
One of the first takeaways from Charisma Mastery, awareness, understanding that our ability to be charismatic, to communicate to others, to convey the optimism and potential that is all around us in the world starts with being aware of your body and your mind. I can become more authentic in my writings, in video creation, or just in physical interactions, professionally, socially, help me with my dating options, help me restore relationships with my families, and help me to just get past this superficial stage. I can take off this armor and truly be more authentic and be more true to myself. Jeff, thank you for putting together this course. It was very well structured, and I really admire the professionalism within the course and just how well put together all the modules were. I really admire the detail and the depth that you put into this and how much value you've delivered. So thank you so much for that.